if I had my Illyri, my gold seal cleric, I would use her as well. So we're going. I told you guys that I probably wasn't going to do Reaper, but I decided that because I want to show you guys how to do this on Reaper. There is a strategy to doing this. I have an extra life if everything goes really bad, but hopefully it doesn't. So I want to put these guys on aggressive. I can have the bard sing a song, and I will have the bard throw blur. Now I have blur, I can blur, but I'm going to let him do it. And what we're going to do, the strategy is we're going to hang out back here. We're not going to go outside. We are going to let everything come to us. Now, I cannot just stand here because there will be a lot of angry kobolds, and the hazard of them killing me would turn into a great risk if I just stood here and let them throw lightning bolts at me. I would risk dying very quickly. So what we are going to do is utilize the environment, this tree and this wall here and this depressed ground here, although this goes away and monsters come in through there. But we are going to utilize this entire field, and we're going to try to kill everything right here. That's our kill zone. As a warlock, I do AoE damage, so in the cone, which is one of the reasons that I like it. And it has a much farther range than it shows, so you can see I start hitting things pretty quickly. Now I'm using the tree to keep myself out of the line of sight of the lightning bolting shamans, and now that I see them, I'm going to do my little jump strafe. Remember, we can jump strafe, we can circle box, we can LOS, we can use all of the landscape to our advantage, and I have the hirelings on aggressive, and so what they'll do is they will run and attack any monsters that arrive, which is great because they will grab aggro first. However, I don't want them to run out there, so what I will do is pull them back here to this spot because I want everybody in this fort. I don't want anybody outside the fort. And why is that? Well, we are taking advantage of the fact that all of these monsters are coming at us from the woods, and that includes any reapers that spawn are out in the woods there. So what we want to do is stay in the fort as far back as we can and avoid attracting the attention not only of kobolds that hang out in the woods, because some of them will, but also any reapers that spawn will stay out in the woods. Unless we run out and let them know that we're here, they won't come back here to find us. So there's no reason to leave this safe area. And you can see I am not for 1 second standing still. They really want to lightning bolt me, but I'm not going to give them the chance. You could also see how far the cone attack goes. Not quite that far, but I have to pull him back in, otherwise he's going to aggro some things that are in the woods, and that's what I don't want. We're utilizing the environment, we're dragging them into our kill zone. You know, we're not letting them get to set up the rules of engagement for this. We're pulling them in and we are gunning them down. Now, I have full mana, so I will save that lost soul. If one of my casters could utilize that, they're NPCs, so they can't, but I would urge them to take it. You know, and this is a tough fight. That's a champion. I got distracted trying to loot. Hopefully I can loot it this time. You probably want to wait until the end to loot. It's always smart. But, you know, I'm not always smart. Despite me giving advice and making videos, I do some really stupid things. Like trying to loot chests during a Reaper invasion of angry kobolds. And so why am I doing this sort of maneuver? Well, I'm strafing to throw some damage at them and then using the walls as an LOS. And this is very basic MMO. If you've played any other MMO, you've probably done an LOS strategy. It's especially popular if you PvP. PvPers LOS all the time. And, you know, as a matter of fact, if you are good at PvPing in another game, you probably will be good at DDO because of the physics that DDO uses for its combat. If you imagine that those little shaman are controlled by other players and they are trying to kill you, you know, it's the same sort of a strategy. You want to sort of fake them out and use whatever advantage you can. The only thing you can't do to these little kobold guys that you could do to a real player is go troll, you know, go troll the forums and call them a newbie. But we can call the kobolds a newbie right here, right now. Right? You little newbies. You think you're gonna get in here and hurt me? Oh, no, you don't. Maybe this champion wants to, but he's not gonna get a chance. Gonna watch out for the shaman who throws lightning bolts. You know, and especially scary are if you see a champion caster. You have to be really careful because if they have, you know, we could highlight the kobold like I just did and see what their bonus is. Some of them have bonuses to damage. Now I have to pull these guys back in the fort so they don't run outside. But you know what I'm talking about. It's a little challenging for me to try to do that right now when I'm strafing and constantly moving. But if you examine a monster and you look at the buffs and debuffs it has on itself, you can see if it has a damage boost for you know, whether it's melee, ranged, or magical. And some of the casters will get, you know, very, very intense boosts to their damage, and their lightning bolts can hit really, really hard and one shot you basically. I mean, I only have, you know, even with my fake hit points, you know, just under 170 hit points. Well, I could get lightning bolted by a champ caster for 200. I mean, that would pretty much kill me, especially considering that on Reaper 1 I'm suffering a deficit of healing, damage, and the monsters have a bonus. You know, they have a slight bonus to their damage, and they take less damage from me. So we need to be very careful. Now, you may run across people on the Hardcore League who have a different method to do this. I know that you can leave the fort and go around the side. I know a lot of people do that for the one where you guard the colonel, or whatever, the lieutenant, whoever it is, when it's all hobgoblins. A group of hobgoblins tries to raid the same fort. And so that strategy is a little bit different than this fight. That fight, you want to take the colonel, or I think it's a colonel, or the corporal, the NPC, and you want to take her around the side of the building over here, but on the outside. So I would run through the door around the outside, and there's a wooded area. You kind of hang around and wait for the fight. You can invis yourself, you can invis everybody, and you kind of wait for the quest. It's like a 10-minute wait. You wait for the arrival of the ogre, who is the leader, and once you see the ogre, you can run out and start killing everything and kill the ogre, and then you should finish the quest pretty easily. Otherwise, you just have to fight wave after wave of angry hobgoblins, and that is risky. So, you know, you keep the hobgoblins as a hazard by hiding around the side. If you were to run and fight them all, then you're at risk of dying to, you know, whatever 100 angry hobgoblins that spawn. And it's a nasty fight. You know, people will try to join that quest. I think it's Gateway Defense it's called or something. And they will try to join that quest, and they'll join it late, and you'll tell them, don't join until we tell you to join, because you're in there looking for the ogre. And they'll say, oh, okay, and then they forget, they click into the quest, and now they're in the middle, they zone in here, and they're in the middle of a quest that's filled with angry hobgoblins, and they die. That happened a couple of times during the last hardcore season. People died not listening to the quest leader, who said when they joined, please don't enter until I tell you to enter. So that is just more data in the column of listen to the quest leader. Don't assume because you've run the quest 1,000 times on your home server that you know what's going on. You know, that you can just run in there and you're a baller, you can kill everything yourself. I mean, you know, if that quest is underway for a few minutes, there are a lot of hobgoblins, just like this quest. You know, somebody were to zone in right now, they would zone into the middle of a fight, and if they weren't ready to move and jump around, then, you know, they might take a lightning bolt. Now we're doing pretty well at controlling the waves. The NPCs are serving their function. They're cross healing each other. It's one of the great things about having 2 clerics out in a quest like this, that they will cross heal. You know, it's the same thing if you had 2 real clerics, or 2 real healers in your group. The healers, you know, they watch each other's backs. And so this is the end. We did it. Here's the chief. There is Kobold Assault on Reaper. We can pick up all of this, the goodies, but we want to make sure that we don't run out into the woods and aggro the 19 Reapers that are out there, because they're out there. I can see pretty far away. You can see there's a Carnage Reaper right there. So, but you know, we're invisible to him because he is hanging out there. At some point, SSG will probably fix that and have the, you know, the pathing for the Reapers where they go to the outpost. But for now, you know, if they don't change that by the time the next Hardcore League launches, well, then this strategy will work. Even if they did come, it's better to be in the fort. You know, even if the Reapers were coming, because we can see them coming in, we can target them, nuke them down, you know. join us for more. I plan to do lore videos for each quest in DDO, as well as the raids. Plus, I will be releasing more Session 0 videos for DDO on topics such as player character races, the religions of Eberron, the Last War, and the Mournlands, the Dragon Marks, the Dragon Marked houses, and much, much more. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below. I like interacting with other players. My main tune in DDO is named Mary. I am on Sarlona. I also have a guild on the Hardcore League. My guild is Death Smile. Please say hi if you're on either of those servers. Subscribe to see more Adventure AI content about DDO, Dungeons & Dragons Online, and gaming in general. I also play Star Wars The Old Republic. You can join us at Adventure AI on Discord. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on Twitter. You can go to our Patreon and become a patron of the channel, where you would get access to all of the scripts, the images, the music, the videos, as well as behind the scenes, and the ability to request topics for me to make future videos. Thanks very much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope your adventures go well.